Grand Rising Elizabeth. It is a wonderful day. My name is Queen Aduni, and I am sitting in today for Mama Evelyn Pinkard, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to learn some stuff. Grand Rising Danielle and Grand Rising Star, who is on so far.
Grand
You got the grand in there, but you got the R, and that was it. You cut yourself.
Sorry, Grand Rising.
No, that was
Grand,
R.
Grand Rising. Grand Rising.
There you go, the full thing. I need the fullness of life from you too. Listen,
Well, the fullness of life is here. I've just figured some things, some clarity just came to me. And I realize I need something in my life income-wise, but I'm also at that point, I need something that has some good benefits, and I ain't talking about health benefits. So I think I'm gonna talk to my connects at Delta. I could be what they call it, a gate agent. They're the person that takes your tickets. Beauty about being a gate agent is you get flight benefits. Flight benefits. So when you need to get the hell out the Dodge, you can get out the hell out of Dodge for free. I'm like, okay.
Right. That's cool.
I do that part-time, and I'm figuring out the car situation, and I'm like, okay, you know what? If I can just get something to get me to and from the airport for 3 months, everything else will work itself out. So I'm getting some clarity here because everybody's talking about giving up the work-life balance, and I'm like, no, we need something that's still going to balance. And that definitely will help out with the work-life balance. Being able to fly to Jamaica Friday and come back Monday and still go back to work. Yeah.
That sounds cool. That sounds really cool.
Well, and it still gives me the option to do social media because I can do that from anywhere. The admin job with the home agency can be done anywhere. With technology, I can do stuff anywhere. So some things is working out.
Yeah, create your world. Listen, I want to introduce someone to you all. Pam has already been introduced to her, and her name is Erin Lyons. Is it this right here? No, it's about Erin Lyons. And let me get this up. So we're going to be listening to her. I did find something about her background. And
did you say the date?
Oh yeah, today is, thank you. Today is May the 16th. It is a Thursday, May 16, 2024. Well, we will be doing more in 24. Thank you, Star. So I'm going to pull up this sister, and we're going to find out a little bit about her, and then we're going to hear what she has to say. So this is beautiful Erin Lyons, and she has been, let's see, this is about her. Embarking on a path less traveled by mystics, my beginnings were rooted within the bustling landscape of Wall Street. With a finance degree from Michigan State University under my belt, New York City beckoned, and my aspirations became reality. For over 8 years, I navigated the realm of wealth as a licensed stockbroker and professional wealth manager, working for renowned institutions such as JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley, amongst others. Over the span of my career, I managed 300 million in assets and attracted high-level clientele, including pro athletes, startup founders, celebs, and Fortune 500 executives. Driven by a relentless pursuit of prosperity and personal growth, I achieved substantial financial success and became a master at manifestation. Little did I know This stage of my journey would come from many spiritual initiations and self-mastery lessons I would need to embrace my ultimate destiny as modern day mystic. Concealing the deep secret within, I had spent years hiding my abilities as a channeler and spirit communicator since adolescence. However, in 2020, global crisis brought forth a significant shift, amplifying my gifts and prompting my spirit guides to signal that the time had come to fully walk in my path as a healer and ascension guide. So I began sharing channeled messages online and soon left my wealth management career behind to help others along their own journey of awakening. Today, I stand ready to empower you in discovering your own unique gifts, cultivating a prosperous life, and fearlessly pursuing your soul's calling. My gifts and missions. As a high level channel, I communicate with Source, the angelic realms, galactic beings, ascended masters, entire universes, and more. My work can be described as quantum, cosmic, and shamanic, fusing high-powered modalities such as light language, akashic healing, quantum touch, and more to trigger energetic transformation on a cellular, conscious, subconscious, and DNA level. My role within the global awakening on Earth is to rebalance divine feminine and masculine templates, help heal deep collective trauma, and usher in encoded information to raise the planet's vibrational frequency through quantum ascension technology. With my spiritual teams of light, I support my clients and community in actualizing their most fulfilling reality of alignment, prosperity, and inner master. So work with Erin, step into the field of infinite possibility and potentiality. And these are the 3 ways you can work with a psychic development training program. Her, the Manifest X microdose membership, and one-on-one channeling X quantum healing. And then this is all about her and stuff like that. So I want us to listen to, I have to go out, come back in. All I know is I've been listening to her for the past probably 3 months, and I am so amazed at her accuracy and her knowledge and her sensitivity to the spirit realm. And I would like for us to just listen to what she has to say today.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about timeline splits and going fully quantum. I am on Instagram and YouTube simultaneously, so pick your platform. I wanted to create dedicated space and time to talk about timeline splits because a lot of people responded to my most recent reel on timeline splits and what they are. So today we're going to be talking about how you can consciously create a timeline split as to shift your reality. Okay. So what exactly is a timeline split? most people experience the same reality over and over and over again, meaning things are not changing. You're getting the same holographic picture. That's really what it means to be stuck. You're never actually stuck. It's just you regenerating the same experiences from your being. So really, it's like being in a timeline loop. And whenever we're experiencing a timeline loop, it feels like time is standing still because we are not accelerating through all of the parallel timelines within the quantum field that we could be shifting through. Instead, we're recycling through the same ones that look similar, that look the same, that feel the same, that come likely with the same types of reflections, the same types of relationship, the same types of people. This is why when you go fully quantum and you start expanding really, really fast, you also experience change really, really fast. You're not continuously jumping between the same timelines, right? You are experiencing that quantum leap, which is really just you shifting to an alternate timeline that is so radically different than what you've been experiencing. So how can we actually do that consciously? So the information that I provided in the reel, we were more so talking about, you know, if you stub your toe or you're late in the morning or, you know, these random inconveniences, and we're like, our ego is like, what the hell is going on? But what's really happening is that your higher self can use these small moments that that you're perceiving as an inconvenience to start redirecting energy in your life. Now, I want you to really think about this. Every decision, every choice, every action literally puts you on a new timeline. So if you're thrown off in the morning by 5 minutes, that's now 5 minutes that you're not on the same time. You're not going to be experiencing traffic the same. You're not going to be interacting with people the same. For whatever reason, that additional 5 minutes that you had to spend doing something else just totally altered your path for the day. Now, we can consciously choose to look at that moment as something that's benefiting us or something that's setting us back. Now, that's more so when we're dealing with things that can oftentimes be a accumulation of karmic energy. So even like stubbing your toe, that moment is just a reflection perhaps of where energy has been, how you've been thinking, how you've been feeling. And so it's just coming to the surface in that moment. But if you say this is a positive timeline split for whatever reason, the moment that I just took to bend down and like, you know, soothe my toe, just put me on a better timeline, you will be on a better timeline because you are a creator and you said it. So reality doesn't really have a mind of its own. It's just simply showing you energetically where you have been. So when you consciously decide what that moment means to you, you create the timeline split. Okay. Now, doing this at a more advanced level, you need to break up the energy in your life by you stopping doing the same things. So going back to what we were just talking about, people not experiencing changes, feeling stagnant, feeling stuck, which is really just you quantum shifting through parallel realities that look and feel the same. On an atomic level, we could say the subatomic structure, how the molecules and particles of that holographic reality are set up or organized, is just they're organized the same, as opposed to them shifting or changing, or you moving the energy in your life as to change the picture. You have to start consciously deciding that you want to be a new person. And this is what I mean. If you wake up in the morning and you have the exact same routine every single day, and I'm not talking about like your morning routine where you meditate and do gratitude, but you wake up, you go to work, you come home, you take a shower, you eat, you, I don't know, watch TV or whatever it is that you do, and you do that every single day, you need to energetically create a new momentum. Do things that make you uncomfortable and will literally pull you out of that timeline. This is also going to help you download from the quantum a new identity. You have to start rewiring yourself to experience reality differently than this version of you that keeps living on autopilot, right? Most people live on autopilot, the same boring reality over and over and over again every single year. It's not interesting. It's not exciting. They're not meeting new people. They're not going new places. You have to make yourself do this. Okay. Take a class. That's gonna, like, this simple thing could change the energetic direction of what you're doing every single day. Instead of going immediately home after work, go somewhere else. Go walk in the park. Go try a new restaurant. Go sit in a coffee shop. Do something different, because the more you expose yourself to different environments in your reality, you will start becoming a new person. So a lot of people are like looking for excitement and adventure, and they're scrolling online and they're like, how are people living these cool lives? Because they plan to live those lives. They don't, everything doesn't just fall in your lap. You have to actively seek to create a new reality. Then your identity, your subconscious mind will start absorbing all the cues, information, and you will gradually, incrementally expand into a new person that can now hold a different reality. Now, why do people keep attracting the same things? Like, if you feel like, Erin, I'm doing everything. I'm watching all these YouTube videos. I'm meditating. I'm like blasting Abraham Hicks when I'm at work. I'm doing my affirmations, all the things. But why do I keep experiencing the same reality? It's because at the core, you haven't fully expanded into the new identity, right? You're like sometimes doing these things, but you're still surrounded by the same reality. So that same reality is just triggering you into the same identity. So we have to literally hack your identity to shift your vibration, which will then transfer into you experiencing a new reality. Okay. So think about this future version of you that you would like to be. What does this person do with their time? What types of places do they like to go to or hang out in? What types of people do they surround themselves with? What's their morning routine? What's their night routine? It doesn't mean you have to do this like all overnight, but you have to pick practical pieces that you can start implementing into your daily experience now, and you will gradually expand into becoming that version. Now, this is what it means to be a conscious creator, right? I also like to call this reverse engineer your reality. Every single thing that I ever really, really wanted and like consciously willed into being, I looked out into the future at, okay, when that becomes me, what will that feel like? What would that look like? What will my daily reality essentially be like? What attributes and components of that can I take away right now and start doing and start pretending like I'm that person? Now, a lot of you are really, really attached to the person that you think you are. Now, when we go fully quantum, we recognize that really we are nothing. You are not the job that you work at right now. You are not the amount of money that you've been making. Now, your subconscious mind, because the mind works on what you've already experienced, which is the opposite of quantum, because your mind can only see what you've created thus far, it might be telling you, no, this is who you really are. This is why when people start working with affirmations and doing these different things to raise their vibration, the ego is actually not fully on board. It's resisting the information. The information is not really integrating and seeping into your subconsciousness. So hacking this identity is about no longer being attached to who you think you are, who the people in your life think you are, right? Because oftentimes people really struggle with reinventing themselves because they're so concerned about what other people think. Well, these people know me to be this way. Like, let's say you're somebody who's been shy all your life, and you might be getting to a point where you want to express more of yourself authentically. But because people know you as being the shy, quiet, timid person, Your mind is telling you, who are you to now use your voice? Who are you to now speak up? You haven't been that person. So why do you think you could be that person now? Going fully quantum is about recognizing it never matters what you've already created and what version of yourself you've been experiencing. It literally is irrelevant. If I wake up tomorrow and I say, I want to start skateboarding, like just because I think it will be cool to be a Black chick skateboarding, and I want to do that, and I want to master it, and I want to have fun with it. If I decide that's who I want to be, I can program myself to become that. And nobody can tell me that I can't, unless I believe that the reflections in my current reality have power over me, right? It's an agreement. You have to stop agreeing to the idea, the illusion that anything or anyone has power over what you decide to be. You can reinvent yourself at any moment. So some of you right now just need this permission slip that you can start doing different things. And it doesn't matter if people understand it. It doesn't matter if people are like, well, you never used to do that. It doesn't matter. I'm a quantum being. I go where I want to go. I flow my energy where I want to flow. This is all a game to me. This is all a playground. I'm not attached to any version of myself that I've already created and experienced. And by the way, that's what our soul really wants to do. It wants to soak up as much as it possibly can in one lifetime. It doesn't just want this linear, gradual expansion into more of the same. Like, that's boring. It wants to come here and it wants to rock the boat. So you have to get it out of your mind that it has to make sense. I was just talking to my friend about this the other day. I'm like, I'm having such an identity crisis right now because I want to start making music and DJing and like all these other things. And I'm like, how does it fit into, the brand? And then my friend is like, it doesn't have to make sense. And that's the truth. Nothing that we do has to make sense. That's really what this cosmic quantum creative masterpiece that we're all doing in a very unique way is all about. This is why, as a society, we tend to really love creative geniuses and minds that do a lot of different things that don't logically make sense. This is actually our true nature. But then we were born into a reality that said, oh no, you went to school to be like a nurse or a doctor or a lawyer, so you need to keep doing that. Or, oh, this is your race and ethnicity. People who look like you don't do these types of things. And now we're living in a linear way. We're not truly tapped into our quantum multidimensional creative genius. Every single person here is a creative genius. You just have to remember how to function that way. And you also have to be comfortable with other people not understanding you. So you want to really redirect the energy in your life. You want to become someone new. It's going to start with doing something new. Take a look at how you've been living. What is your day-to-day? Do you do the same things over and over and over again? Where is there room and opportunity for you to adopt and consciously create new patterns? New patterns hold new energy, take you new places, expose you to new people. And now the identity starts to shift and you can hold a new reality. And also, okay, this is really important. Making peace with whatever version of yourself you have been experiencing, because if we're in resistance and essentially we're judging all that we've created, all that we've manifested, who we are as of now to date, if we judge that, we criticize it, and we can't make peace with it, we cannot hold the vibration to quantum travel. So the first step in quantum time travel is actually being okay with where you are within the field. This is okay where I am within the field, because source is never looking at the timeline that you're experiencing and saying, I don't appreciate that timeline. That timeline has no value. I don't like it. Source is in total unconditional acceptance of every single aspect of existence because it sees the value in that experience. And your soul also sees the value in that experience. So as soon as you make peace with it and you stop feeling bad and you stop feeling like you're not good enough and you stop feeling like you're behind and you stop feeling like you're wasting time, you release all of this, like these energetic weights that are keeping you anchored exactly where you are. Like, really think about that. If I'm upset about where I am, energetically, I'm just binding myself to stay there because that's where my focus is. So, first step in quantum time travel, I'm okay with what I've created. Now, why would I be okay with what I've created? Because I know I can always go somewhere else in the time-space continuum. It's irrelevant. It really doesn't matter. If I know I can quantum leap and go wherever I want, I don't have to be in energetic opposition to myself based on where I am. Step 2, how do I match the frequency of where I want to go? Because it's just a matter of holding that vibration, allowing yourself to feel that vibration now, thus closing the frequency gap and going there. With this one, a lot of people really struggle with imagination and enjoying the potential of what their life can become and will become. It's like, because it's not happening now and I don't see it now, I'm basically not excited about it. What if you could, and this is really how I've manifested so many things, just simply be excited about the potential and the possibility. That's it. Wow. Like, really sit in this energy of what if, play around with it. What if XYZ happened? Like, what if that really happened? The more you play into that frequency, you will recognize that the purest essence of you, your inner child who is absolutely thrilled at and by possibility, you will feel organic excitement begin to expand and increase. And if you could let the excitement of that possibility be enough, if you could let the thrill of this thing possibly manifesting, right? And we're saying possibly on purpose as to not create an attachment. Really, this fifth dimensional mastery is simply about maybe, but maybe not. Maybe it'll happen, but maybe it won't happen. Either way, I'm having fun. That's what allows you to shift and maneuver in the quantum, not needing it to be a certain way while simultaneously being so excited that it could happen that way, right? It could happen this way. However, I'm also open to the possibility that it could happen better, that source actually sees even a better way beyond what my human mind could possibly fathom. And by the way, that's when the best manifestations happen. When you get something that was even better than what you could have dreamed of or expected. So, step 2, I'm so excited about the possibility of that happening, but I'm also open to it happening differently. Now, step 3 is when we have to take that spiritual energy and we have to ground it into the physical. So in the higher realms, manifestation is just materialization, energy materializing. That's all it is. So this step 3 is about the inspiration that you need to follow to allow this thing to materialize. So a lot of people, this is also where they get tripped up in the process. They're meditating, doing their affirmations, and doing everything. The universe is sending them people, information, resources, signs, and they're just sitting there. And they're like, oh no, I'm waiting. There's a time and a space and a place. When we're really operating in our full quantum reality, we will sometimes be taking way more action than what we're used to taking, but it's coming truly from a place of excitement, and it's coming truly from a place of inspiration, right? lights us up inside to do this thing. So look at your life. What are you asking for, but what are you actually doing to move towards that thing? Seeing some subconscious self-sabotage for a lot of people with this one. Second guessing, going back and forth. Oh, maybe I'll apply to that position, maybe not. This is also where that old identity comes in, right? That old identity is telling you essentially that maybe you're not good enough for the thing that you're asking for. And so source is trying to send you this inspiration to take action, but then your ego is just not allowing you to carry out the steps. You really can't sit around and wait for these things to happen. Okay, this is great. Allow the universe to meet you where you are. Or allow the universe, to meet you halfway. You do everything you possibly can, and then you allow the universe to do everything that it possibly can. I want to make this like more practical with an example. So, okay, there have been times in my life where I did really have to work hard to get things. And at the tail end of it, the universe was able to shock and surprise me with like a total miracle. But that miracle was only possible because I put myself in a position to receive it. Meaning, if I didn't take all the action that I had been taking, the universe wasn't going to be able to like slam dunk it. I'm seeing this as like, what do you call it in basketball, an alley-oop, where like you're approaching the hoop and then someone passes the ball and then you like dunk it. It's like source wants you to always have the slam dunk, but you got to at least be in the position to catch the ball and follow through. You have to do your part, okay? So the universe can do its part. The more you do, the more source can do, like literally. Because you're putting yourself in that space to receive the unfathomable. Okay. I don't know what's going on in this YouTube chat right now. Give me a second, guys. I just want to get some folks out of here like really, really quickly. Okay, so consciously creating a timeline split. I want you to see this as like, this is where you're going, right? You're going linear, linear, linear. And then you want to just like, you want to split that timeline. This is a timeline split. You're going super linear. You're experiencing the same things, the same people, the same energy. It needs to go like this, right? Old version of you, new version of you, going this way, out into the quantum, out into new potentiality. How you're going to do that is by shifting the day to day. It could be that simple. So what I actually want to do now is answer some questions. And I will also drop in any other things that the energies here would like to share. I'm struggling to embody my new desired reality. I'm not sustaining the vibration. Is it deep subconscious programming? I wonder. Okay, excellent question. A lot of people experience this. You're doing everything that you possibly can. I mean, everything, right? You have to understand karma. Two things, karma and energetic momentum. Now, what karma actually is the accumulation of your own choices, thoughts, and actions. If you've been living your life in a certain way, you've been thinking for a certain way, you've been reacting to reality in a certain way, it's going to take time to redirect that energy, which is why we said when all these little things are happening and you feel like they're setbacks, the only way you're going to switch up that energy and create a new energetic momentum if you change is only by changing the way you look at them. That creates the new momentum. That creates the new karmic credit. Every time you look at something and you respond and you react in a way you react from a victim consciousness, that energy just keeps getting recycled, and then you are a magnet for those experiences happening over and over and over again. How are you going to break that cycle? Change the way you look at what's happening. And this can go on for a couple of years. I'm not joking. A couple of years where you're doing everything in your power and you're like manifesting things, but you're also still getting like the shit. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, that was great. It's like a roller coaster. That was phenomenal. That was awesome. But then 2 weeks later, you get a flat tire. That is the karma, the energetic momentum of all of those thoughts you had been thinking for 10, 20, 30 years plus. It's still in the vibrational field, and it's going to take time for you to fully anchor into an entirely new vibrational grid. So like for me at this point in my life, bad or negative things don't really happen. And if and when they do, they stand out so much that one, I can backtrack them to, oh yeah, you're like for the last week or two, you haven't been sustaining the highest vibration. So this is just the universe is just showing me, hey, gentle reminder, get back in alignment. But it took years for me to be sustained in the new grid where like crazy negative things aren't happening, like things that are really irritating, annoying setbacks took a long time. And the only way that it changed was choosing to change the way that I looked at what was happening. Now, this is important because many of us are inheriting lots of karma from our family. We're inheriting lots of karma from the lineage in which we have decided to implant ourselves. This is why it can feel almost impossible to escape this repetitive cycle and loop that you think you're never going to break out of. It is temporary. The more you respond in sovereignty, empowerment, knowing that you're the creator of your reality, not allowing the illusion of what's happening to shake you up, the more you do that, the more you do that, the more you do that, the universe goes, oh, you are really anchored in this identity. This is who you think you are. It becomes your identity. If you're responding to it and you're reacting negatively more than you are in a masterful way, it simply signals to the universe that that's not yet your identity. So this is why it keeps coming, because it's not truly who you are. It has to become a part of who you are. To really change our reality, remember, it's always about our identity. And what is identity? It's who you think you are. The universe is only responding to who you think you are. It's not placing a label on you because source, quantum, consciousness is neutral. It's simply energy. With our free will, we signal to this whole quantum matrix who we think we are. So these things are happening to you. That's okay. In spite of those things happening, you still get to decide who you are in relation to that thing. This is also where we begin to hold the concept of unconditional abundance. What is unconditional abundance? It means that a specific condition in this illusory world is no longer required for me to choose to be in a frequency of abundance. Abundance and quantum consciousness are the same thing, because abundance simply encompasses everything and the all. And the quantum field is everything and the all. Every timeline, every outcome, every probability, every potentiality, every possibility, all existing simultaneously. That is the true essence of your abundance. Being able to shift where you want to go. So when I no longer require specific conditions that I've been programmed by the matrix to believe makes me abundant, I'm no longer bound to feeling like I am in a prison. And now I'm on a playground, a quantum cosmic playground. Now, something with inner child is coming up here. And this whole transmission, there are like activations, light codes embedded in the frequency of the conversation. The inner child, why we want to talk about the inner child. So crucial for healing your identity. Again, nothing that you've already experienced has anything to do with who you decide to be now. And this is about recognizing that we always can jump, time jump, quantum jump, always. Today, right now, in this moment, you can decide to start playing into a new quality or attribute that you want to embody. You can decide to do that. And thus shift and change your reality. Change who you think you are. Change your identity. So what we recommend on a practical level is make a list. Make a list of all of the aspects of you that you, or make a list of all of the components, attributes, characteristics that you would like to embody, that you would like to be. And it's really simple. Start becoming them. Your mind is going to feel like this is ridiculous. Why am I doing this? I'm making this up. Even maybe this is dishonest. This is inauthentic. And remember, this is not about anybody else. This is between you and source. The quickest way to quantum leap your reality is to assume the vibration of that which you desire to be. The quickest way to do that is to start adopting those attributes now and believing that you are that person now. Now, all of creation and reality has to speed up to reflect that you are now this person. So really, when we take what we can perceive as a future version of us, and we shift consciousness and we actually act as if it's in the past, like it already happened. I already manifested this thing. I already am this person. So you want to place it in the past, actually, or bring it into the present, as opposed to continuously projecting it out into the future. Oh, in the future, I will be this. In the future, I will become that. In the future, I will have this thing. Okay. No. If we project it out into the future, it stays in the future. When you quantum time travel, it's simply a matter of where you place your awareness. Stop placing your awareness in the future or projecting it out into the future. Bring it into the now, or reverse engineer the entire manifestation process and place it in the past. So if you could pretend that everything you're asking for already happened, what do you think that does vibrationally? It signals to the universe that you aren't waiting for this thing to happen. It goes, oh, that already happened. Let us speed up. Reality starts morphing. Quantum particles start shifting, reorganizing themselves to present the new picture that is now reflecting the vibration that you're holding. It's a part of you. It's your new identity. Someone mentioned epigenetics, and Dr. Joe Dispenza is one of the best people, I believe, in hacking your DNA, that teaches how to hack your DNA, your subconscious mind, to quantum leap your reality. Highly recommend his teachings. So one more thing we want to solidify is to like further drive home quantum time travel and creating timeline splits. When you step into 0 point energy, you are placing yourself nowhere. Okay, so the 0 point is simply past, present, and future converging into this moment of now, and thus I'm not putting myself anywhere in the quantum. I'm just simply here now with source. I'm in the all that is, the all there isness of infinity. When I come into this 0 point now, from this place, I can now choose where to direct my consciousness. So think about something that you really want to manifest right now. And I want you to understand there's a version of you that already had it in the past. There's a version of you experiencing it now that you can merge with, and there's a version of you that will experience it in the future, right? Past, present, future. Your manifestation exists in the past, in the present, and in the future, all simultaneously. So when you step back into this 0 point neutrality, meaning you aren't assuming any one of those positions, now you can choose how you want to relate to that manifestation. If I want to play into the future self, I can do that. If I want to play into the version of me that has it now, I can do that. If I want to play into the version of me that's like in the past, projecting this thing outward, I can do that. So actually, interestingly here, with a lot of like manifestation techniques, we actually assume the past position, like we're living in the past. We're living in this past version that's saying, oh, it's out in the future. And past simply implies that, or it can imply that you didn't experience it yet, whereas the future version of you already has it. So we want to shift. We want to bring that energy into the present. Now, it's kind of confusing, but we become our future self by placing the desire in the past, meaning we're not like in the past seeing this thing as something that's going to happen in the future. We actually shift into the future and we say, oh, that already happened, and we place it in the past. So the more, it's like, it can be confusing, but the more you play around with, okay, where do I want to place my consciousness? You can energetically manipulate yourself into experiencing the presence of your desire now, or even getting over the desire as if it's already happened. So I hope that wasn't too confusing. Every time I like think about this, I'm like, wait, okay. So it's a really fun activity to practice, because what it does is it really starts teaching you how to operate as a quantum being. Where do I want to place my consciousness? How do I want to relate to this manifestation? I know there's a version of me that already has it. I know there's a version of me that doesn't have it yet, which is kind of like what we're experiencing now. But I don't have to be bound to any versions of those. I can just neutralize 0 point and decide how I want to relate. Okay. This is what's going to set you free from approaching your reality in like a very linear way. And let's see what we have here. So is this like portal traveling and talking to your future self? So I'm excited that you brought up the concept of the future self, because you can call on your higher self, because like your higher self is aware of all of these different versions of you in the quantum field, past, present, future, etc., all these parallel aspects of you. You can call on your higher self to say, can you please download to me the information, the habits, the thoughts, the beliefs of this future version of me, so that I can merge with that timeline and become one. So get clear on what this future self is experiencing. And you say, higher self, please locate that version of me in the quantum. And now download to me some of the characteristics and attributes of this version of me that will allow me to merge with that person. And in that way, you can interact with your future self and really allow your future self to coach you into becoming that person. Do this all through, you can do this through your higher self, I'm hearing, or through the angelic realm. Source is saying you can call on high vibrational angels to support you in cultivating new beliefs, new habits. You say, hey, bring me the information that I need to become that person. Now, this is also bringing up another important aspect of manifestation, which is when we consciously start manifesting something, we also attract the lessons and the experiences that we need to become the person that can hold that desire in our reality. Now, oftentimes, most people are going to see this as a setback, a challenge, or a failure, or something that's stopping them. But what's actually happening is you told the universe that you wanted to experience this thing. But based on where you are right now, you don't have the beliefs. You don't have the understanding to hold that reality. So the universe goes, oh, okay, well, this, and this actually needs to happen. So you can grow into the wisdom that would then allow you to hold that experience. So every time the lessons come in, if you look at them and you say, this is me getting what I asked for, because I'm now actually becoming the person. I'm getting one step closer. I just learned something about myself. Oh, an aspect of my shadow just came to the surface for illumination. Oh, I didn't realize that I was still attracting this specific thing based on a core memory that was developed in childhood. Or, oh, I just discovered a belief that I have about money or about love or about how worthy I am. This is me getting closer. Every time you say, this is me getting closer, the universe just says, yes, you're getting closer, because it listens to everything that you say as the creator. So hacking your reality is always about shifting the way you perceive it. In my game, I'm always the winner. In my game, I'm always winning. And so now I'm not projecting out into the field that something is working against me. That's how most people are energetically set up. And it really comes from like a lot of ridiculous religious programming. And I'm just going to say this, the belief in a devil, really, and this is why this was created, the belief in a devil or a negative force working against you, that is dark black magic that actually just, you create that force in your life. You create it because you are the creator. So you literally feed it energetically. And now you have this invisible force working against you, making things more difficult, creating time delays, attracting, reflections that give you a hard time. So we want to shift that core programming around something working against you. Nothing's working against you but yourself. So if you implement this rule, essentially, where you say, everything's always working for me, then it has to serve you and it has to work for you. The energy has to follow your command. Also, since we're on this topic, I do want to delve a little bit into what black magic actually is. I'm just being guided to talk about that because a lot of you consume certain information that is not beneficial to you as being the creator of your reality. Everything is energy and frequency. Every single thing. Everything is energy and frequency. So what black magic is really folks who understand how to use universal law against you, or actually get you to use universal law against yourself, because no one can ever create in your reality. It's on a quantum mechanical level, it's actually impossible for anyone to create anything for you because they can't vibrate for you. They cannot send out energetic signals and impulses from your being. Only you can do that. Only you can do that. However, what they can do is they can implant ideas and suggestions and manipulate you into creating a reality for yourself that doesn't serve you. And that's what the dark masters of this matrix do. They get us to create things unconsciously, but it's always us creating it. So we want to really eradicate this belief right now that anybody has control and power over you. And this is actually a dark magic, black magic spell that source is clearing. And I'm just going to pull through a little bit of light language to support this. Feeling a lot of shackles, even of like these spells and curses and weird contracts that you inherited through your lineage. Bringing you fully back to your quantum center, that 0 point energy we were talking about, no longer assuming anything. When we return to zero, what is zero? Zero is nothing. It doesn't assume anything. So when you become pure energy, pure consciousness, pure awareness, and you don't assume yourself as anything, that neutralizes all of the spells, and which is really just universal law being used negatively. It is time for you to stop working against yourself. It is time for you to stop allowing other beings to harness your energy by distracting you into habits, programs, and belief systems that do not serve your ultimate empowerment as a quantum conscious being. Collapsing contracts here. This is why some of you have been in those time loops we were talking about. And a time loop is simply you remanifesting the same thing over and over and over again, not being able to exit the cycle. It's because you have been unconsciously agreeing to spells that don't serve you. Okay. So feeling a lot of energy with that, really breaking up the momentum of some of those patterns. 0 is neither positive or negative. Absolutely love that perspective. Thank you for sharing. Now, since we're talking about giving power away, what really does that mean when we give power away? When we say that the love frequency is the highest technology, what we mean is when we are in the love vibration, which is simply the acceptance of all that's happening throughout and within creation, we are neither assuming a positive or a negative. We're just in total acceptance. In this time space reality, what we've all been programmed to do is to assume a negative vibration or a feeling of hate. And this is like why it's such a dark magic mastery trick. Even when there are topics that we're really passionate about, because we truly are coming from the goodness of our heart, that we seek to we seek for the best of all. But if we're doing it through the frequency of hate, meaning if we're like, I hate the government, or I hate that this is happening on the planet, or I hate that experience, or I hate that people are experiencing that type of reality. Hate is still hate, and the universe just scans the frequency. And even if you're really doing it from a place of wanting to be a part of a positive cause, it's still a frequency of hate. This is why with black magic, it's like so inverted. It gets you to use your universal life force energy and filter it through a lower vibrational energy. So you have to assume a frequency of love, no matter what has happened here. This is why it's important for us to all make peace with the collective past. No matter what has happened, if you can find it in your spirit, in your soul, to simply appreciate all of the value that we've derived on a soul level, and you're no longer pushing against these forces, or you think that you're in a battle, or you think that you're in war, or you think that you're fighting. Those are all just programs to harness your energy. You want to stop doing that as soon as possible. You are not fighting against anything. This is all happening within your consciousness. The moment you recognize that it's only ever happening inside of your consciousness, you're no longer vibrating in those frequency spectrums that send out invitations to keep co-creating with these beings. You're really living in the harmonic fifth dimensional template. This is why we always say everyone's not experiencing the same version of Earth. Some people still believe themselves to be fighting dark beings. Now, we cannot ignore the existence of these energies, which is why we're educating you on the proper way, the proper frequency to transmute them. It's not through fighting them. That's what they want. They want you to believe that they harness more power over you. So every time you're using your energy and you're like, I'm fighting against this, I'm fighting against this, this is dark, this is bad, okay, your energy is just being harnessed and you're staying plugged into that grid. We want to get you out of that grid. We want to get you out of that time matrix. We want to anchor you into the rainbow crystalline grid, where you are organically understanding neutrality, understanding unconditional love, understanding that every being is sovereign and creates their own reality, fully understanding shadow aspects and making peace with them. No longer giving them power or subscribing to unconscious agreements with your energy. So, okay, it feels like we're complete for today. Really, really powerful stuff here. And if you're on Instagram, you can find this replay immediately on my YouTube, Erin Lyons TV. I hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of your weekend. And we got more conversations coming to you soon. Thanks, guys.
Wow. So,
That was some good information.
yes, yes, yes. That's something you want to listen to over and over and over again, because she sure enough breaks it down and puts all the responsibility, the choices, just understanding how we got to where we are. And yeah, it's good. Good stuff. Good stuff.
That was absolutely amazing and right on time.
Yeah.
Right on time. I'm
Mhm.
gonna listen to that again. Because I mean I've heard that all that before and it just made sense. Sometimes you just need to hear stuff again. So thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. I'm going to post that in the WhatsApp. And Maureen, are you in WhatsApp?
You're on mute, Noreen.
I'm not in WhatsApp yet. I have to shift to a higher energetic phone very soon with more capabilities that will do things for me, include giving me a massage and a gentle song. But so, I would love to listen to that again. That just really filtered through so many things. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really just, all that stuff that we just take on
Yeah.
and we're thinking that it's right, but it's doing more damage. And I am so ready. I'm so ready to be the best that I can be and experience myself in the fullness of wonder, the fullness of wonder. And so I'll text it directly to you, okay,
Well,
Maureen?
thank you. Because
Mhm.
I have seriously been in that. I know this, I understand this, I practice this, and yet like a square ball, I keep flubbing it and then getting in a pattern of berating myself, which takes a lot of zip out of one's day
Yeah,
and
right.
energy, the positive momentum. So that, thank you. I would really appreciate that.
Mhm.
I'm muted because there's a lot going on behind me, and if it gets too much, just remind me that I will
Yeah.
mute it again.
I hear it. All right, well, that is that for today, and tomorrow is Friday and Passion and Purpose, and we will be on and popping. So thank you very much. Give yourself a big
Wow.
mm, 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 mm. Hug, 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 hug. I'm waiting on Danielle to hug. And hug
trying
the
to get her.
world and sprinkle goodness and love and knowing, being to thyself be true, and all of that stuff. When she explained about the past, the present, and the future, woo, and calling on the angels and calling on your higher self to show me how to be that. Oh my God, that was just like, got my work cut out for me. Peace and love and prosperity. Love you.
Love you.